Today I'm walking you through the exact leg day that I am using to build bigger quads. This isn't just a random leg workout. Every movement is picked to hit your quads from a different angle with intention. And it's all built around my favorite leg machine, the Pendulum Squat. But first, we gotta get you ready. I use the sled to open up just about every lower body session in my training. It's super simple, anyone can do it, gets tons of blood into your quads, great for your knees, without the wear and tear. Every one of my functional bodybuilding workouts delivers a potent strength intensity section of training. Stacked up over time, these drive incredible strength and muscle gains. And today's strength intensity movement is gonna be the pendulum squat. What this is great for is it allows you to squat very deep, drive your knees way over your toes, and support your back throughout the entire range of motion. We're running this one in a wave set. For the first part of this wave, you're gonna do sets of 12 and 8 down to 4. Each set building weight, getting as close to failure as you can for each set. After we hit our top set of 4 reps, we're gonna strip the weight back down and we're gonna do another set of 8. Since you're fatigued, that set of 8 is gonna feel harder than the first set of 8 you did. For the last set of 12, you're gonna go back to your original weight and you're gonna fight like crazy to get those 12 reps. Once you've hit your 12 reps and you've fought hard for it, you're gonna stand up, rack the pendulum squat, and you're gonna walk back and strip off about 20% of the weight on the machine. Saddle back up, you're going back in to finish this drop set, and you're gonna take these reps to failure. One more important piece. On every rep, you're going to control the negative for 3 seconds. This type of control and getting down into a full stretched position is essential to light up your quads and stay safe as you push for failure on every set. After 5 brutal sets on the pendulum squat, your legs are gonna feel pretty cooked. So we're gonna be very efficient with the next 2 exercises. You have 2 sets of dumbbell walking lunges. Now, the dumbbell walking lunge can be performed in a variety of different ways. The length of your stride is gonna dictate whether this is more of a glute exercise or a quad exercise. Since we're lighting up our quads in this workout program, I'm gonna choose a short step walking lunge variation. An abbreviated step in the walking lunge is gonna drive your knee way out over your toe, which again, loads up the quads. In addition, stay very tall as opposed to leaning forward, again, to emphasize quad over glutes. You're gonna perform 2 sets of 20 steps. Think about driving through the midfoot of the forward leg. Since you're only doing 2 sets, we need you to go heavy, and that's gonna mean using lifting straps to ensure that your grip doesn't limit you on these sets. We're moving on to the final exercise of this quad workout. We're doing leg extensions, and we're gonna use 2 specific adjustments to make sure we're getting maximum range of motion and we're targeting the upper portion of the quads. First, you have to adjust the backrest on the leg extension. We're gonna send it back to the furthest position possible so that you are laying back as you're performing your set. One of the limitations of many leg extension machines is that the range of motion isn't always optimal. So for that, I invested in these quad ROM accessories. All you do is you slip them right over the foot pad on your leg extension, and then when you load up to do your reps, you get an additional 3 to 4 inches of range of motion at the bottom. For this last exercise, you're doing 1 single set, and we're gonna use a double rest pause as an intensification method to make this 1 set feel like 3 sets all the way to failure. First, you're going to select a weight on the weight stack that you can do for close to 15 reps. Once you begin, take your first set to absolute failure. It should be anywhere from 13 to 17 reps, right around that 15 mark. Once you fail, you start a clock for 20 seconds. You have 20 seconds to rest before you begin again, taking reps all the way to failure. This is your first rest pause. If you do this right, you'll be lucky if you can get 5 to maybe 7 reps on your second set. Once you hit failure again, it's another 20-second rest before you begin your final set to failure. I think on my last set, I was able to squeak out 3, maybe 4 reps. And so in total, I did about 25 reps all the way to failure on each of these rest pauses. One note about the lean back position. When you stay very upright in your leg extensions, you work the lower three heads of the quadriceps very well. But when you lean back and you get a stretch in the upper quad, you're actually training the rectus femoris more than any other position in the gym. Making this lean back, extra range of motion, leg extension, one of the best tools that we can use to train all heads of the quads. And it wouldn't be a complete leg day unless we finish with some calves. So here's a bonus exercise for you and a way to approach it so that you can get those pesky calves to actually grow. I want you to choose a standing calf raise variation that you have access to in your gym. I'm using the Smith machine because it's perfect for what I'm trying to accomplish. You're gonna load up the Smith machine with a weight that you can do for about 15 reps. You have 3 sets today, and all of them are gonna go to failure. Now let me define what failure looks like in the calf raise. We don't need you to go to full range of motion at the top of every rep. By about rep 10, you should start feeling quite fatigued, and your range of motion is gonna start to get kind of short. As long as the soles of your feet are getting to parallel with the ground, you can still keep going. Just make sure you're getting a full stretch and a pause at the bottom of every rep. And once you can't get your heels up to parallel to the ground, that's the end of your set, but you're not quite done. You're gonna go to the bottom of the final rep and you're gonna hold the stretch position for 10 seconds. This one's brutal, so be ready to bail as soon as you hit the 10-second mark. Your quads are gonna be torched, so the last step is mobility. Do not skip it. We're gonna start off with the couch stretch. For that, I want you to get a bench and something in front of you that you can use for support. This simple but disgusting stretch is gonna open up your quads and your hip flexor. Pro tip, squeeze this butt cheek and try and drive your hip forward throughout the whole stretch. Hold this for 90 seconds on each leg. And last but not least, the elevated pigeon stretch. Set your incline bench to the lowest setting it has, and then put your shin right on the bench. This one's gonna stretch your glutes and your hip rotators to balance out this session. Give me 90 seconds per side, and you're done. This pendulum squat was provided by French Fitness, and I'm glad it was. I'm super picky about the machines that we have in this gym, and for years, I've been dying to have a pendulum squat because it trains quads the way they were meant to be trained. Full knee bend, constant tension, and total control. It's rare to find a machine that makes squats feel better and hit harder. This does both. So if you've got access to a pendulum squat, use it. If not, you can try a Smith machine or landmine hack squat, although it doesn't quite hit the same. And if you want to train like this with a clear intention and purpose, go check out Persist. Check the link down in the description.